we go. All right, so tonight we are going to talk about finding prospects. Where are people? I know a lot of times people, once they get involved in our business or in this industry in general and think about who they're going to contact, typically you think of starting of the people that you know. And it's like one of the first things that people get fearful is what happens when I run out of the people I know. So this is all about how to grow your prospect list. So I'm going to go through 5 different topics here. Our 5 steps to finding unlimited prospects. So it's going to be, who do you know? First and foremost, who do they know? Networking on purpose, not prejudging people, and then branding yourself and a little bit on social media. Not going to dive a whole lot into that. We'll cover it briefly, but because that could be a whole other training in and of itself, but we'll cover a few key things. So the very first thing is, who do you know? Everyone needs to work from a list. You absolutely have to make a contact list, okay? There is a lot of different resources out there. If you Google, contact list of 100, memory jogger, there's a great one that Eric Worre puts out there called the memory jogger. Really, your list should be 1,000 people by the time you go through that resource. So it's really, really good. But as far as thinking about network marketing and being in this industry for the long haul, the biggest part of having success doing that is you have to have a list. And your list is ever evolving. You never have, okay, my list is complete. It's something you will always be working from the day you make the list for your entire career in this business. So this posers, amateurs, and professionals. Posers come into this industry, come into this business and think, okay, Joe, Sally, and Josh, like, they're going to make me millions. I'm going to contact those 3 or 4 people, and that's going to be my ticket, and I'm going to be the top of this company. Yeah, right. Amateurs think about their contact list. Say, okay, I'm going to do my contact list of 100, which we always recommend starting there. Write it down and get to the end of the list and think, what am I going to do now? Versus professionals know that this is an ever-evolving thing, and you will always, always, always be adding to your list. Another thing to not do is to come into this and think, okay, I'm just going to make some really, really good Facebook posts, and the masses are going to come to me. That's the game you're betting on. That's not going to happen either. Okay, so it's so important to make this list. It will take some time, but it's very, very necessary to do. But again, you're going to always, always be evolving it. So even when you come into, you start your list with this memory jog of all the people you know, but then it might be at the grocery store later on in the week. And all of a sudden you're going to run into an old classmate or somebody that's like, oh my gosh, I've been seeing them forever. When you get home, add them to your list. And this doesn't have to be that every person that's going onto my list, as soon as they get on my list, I am going to reach out and prospect them. No, not necessarily. You're just going to know at some point you want to share what you do with them, whether it's from our product or from our business opportunity. Okay, we always are going to events. We are at things where we meet new people. You meet somebody new, you get in conversation with them. When you get home, add them to your list. I actually recommend setting up like a Google Doc, and so installing a Google Drive or Dropbox, something where you can have your list on your phone. So even if it's just in quick, you might think of somebody, you might come out of the store and you don't want to forget, you can just quick throw them on your list and add them to that. And I have a Excel spreadsheet. I created a Google Doc that has the list pre-made. I'm happy to send that out to everyone as well. But so important. So also opening your ears. So just paying attention to conversations around you. If you really start like being open-minded and like thinking about stuff like this, all of a sudden you'll notice side conversations where people might be talking about financial stresses, or a lot of times because of what we're doing here, you might hear people talking about maybe a loved one that's just had a heart attack or is suffering from an illness, or is something that what we have here with the Helo or the people talking about EMFs or that kind of thing with the BioZen, that it might serve them. So just opening your ears and being always in the mindset that who can authentically be somebody that you could add to your list. Okay. Facebook posts also. It's another good, when you do things like that, when people like or comment on things, notice who's doing them. If they're not on your list yet, add them to your list. If you're scrolling through your news feed and you happen to see somebody post on something that makes you think of what we do, add them to your list. oftentimes that's, and I don't spend a lot of time scrolling on Facebook, but when I do, that's something I'm always kind of, it's on the front of my mind, like who is praying for this opportunity? Who could be blessed by what I have to share with them? So that's another good way to continue to expand your list, again, in all the people that you know. So the second thing is, who do they know? So we have our warm market, but as soon as you meet somebody new, whether they enroll in your business or not, their whole warm market can become your market also. So we call it the second degree of separation. So some of the conversations that we can have with people is, hey, I've just started with this business. I'm looking for people that fit XYZ description, entrepreneurial, maybe into tech, health and wellness, that kind of thing, just want to be in business for themselves, financial freedom, that kind of thing. Would you happen to know anybody like that? That's how you could just straight up ask for referrals. One thing that's so important that you've got to get in the habit of doing is when you are prospecting somebody or sharing what we have through conversation, if you're going to find tons of people that aren't interested, but make sure you ask for that referral. Say, thank you so much for taking a look. No worries at all. By chance, would you know somebody that might be interested in something like this? That is how you get, I don't have any international contacts. And now I have team members in 4 different countries. It wasn't because of people I know, but it's because of people that other people know. So important to ask for the referral. That's how many career network marketers have said they've grown teams around the world because of who other people have known. The third thing is networking on purpose. And this comes back to, again, continuing to expand that list. The more you can get out and meet new people, that's with being intentional, that mindset, the more you're going to be able to constantly add new people to your list. You connect with people. On the bottom here, I have a list of different ways you can connect with people and get out there and meet get into new groups of people. I mentioned this in one of our Facebook lives, but with my last company, I knew that because it was a food company, that we did a lot of stuff with gluten-free and healthy eating and that kind of stuff. So I decided to join our CrossFit gym in this community because I knew they're really all about healthy eating there. I'm like, that's going to be a whole new network of people that will have an interest or might have an interest in what I do. So that was an example of, joining something for the purpose of expanding my network. So MOPS groups, that's another great way. Again, joining a gym is on here. And in lots of communities, there are networking groups. There's BNI groups. There's something called meetup.com. Your community may or may not have this, but you just have to do a little Google searching to see if they do. Online interest groups. So when you're on Facebook and some of these different social media groups, I think mainly Facebook that have this, but think about what interests you. So if you're really into dogs or you're really into gardening, whatever it is that is your true passions, get into you can find interest groups on dang near every topic on Facebook. Get yourself plugged into that. That's already truly, don't be a poser, but truly something that interests you. Get on there and connect with people. Don't necessarily go in there and make a post in this group that has nothing to do with your business and be like, hey, here's my business. Is anybody open? Don't do that. But get in there, and that's a way to meet new people without even having to leave your house. So, through having conversations, now you'll be sending them a friend request. Now people are on your friends list, and I'll kind of expand on that a little bit more in the social media section. But that's a great way to expand your network globally is through online interest groups. Going to your local dog park without sitting in there, being on your phone the whole time, look up, make conversations with people. I don't have them right now, but for probably 4 or 5 months, I was going to get my nails done to meet people. Again, most of these people from other countries that do our nails, to start to make connections. Now I know a lot of those nail techs by first name. So we're forming that relationship. So now I feel comfortable when the opportunity presents itself that I can share what we have here. Volunteering in your community, great way to meet people. Stuff at your church. Chamber events. We plan on joining our chamber. We had done it previously, and we're just like, we need to do this again. We've gone to a couple events just as guests of other people, and oh my goodness, all you're doing is walking around talking to people about what you do. Like, Holy networking. The one time I went there, I had like 5 new people to add to our list. So very, very important. And again, it's just being intentional about meeting new people. Once you get this mindset, because truly this is one of the skills in network marketing. Once you get into the mindset, you will never wonder, where are the people? How do I find more people? And where do I reach out, find more people to reach out to? And also on this a little bit, being mindful of your energy when you're out and networking and connecting with people at these events, okay? People are attracted to energy. People are attracted to you first before anything that's coming out of your mouth. So just, again, being mindful of not being stuck in your phone. Just manage your energy for sure. That's really, really important. And again, your list will never stop growing. The pros set a goal of adding 2 people to their list every single day. Whether that's, again, being out doing stuff through daily life. I think of even when my kids are at, in their activities, you're always sitting there with other parents, making new connections. You might be meeting new people. Eventually they become people you see all the time. Now you have there's some sort of relationship there. Add them to your list. Okay. And then I love this quote on the bottom here from Richard Branson. Succeeding in business is all about making connections. It's because it truly, truly is. This is a relationship business at the end of the day. And so if you add just 2 new people a day, set that goal to add 2 new people 6 days a week to your network, that'll be 624 new people that get added to your list every single year. Okay. Professionals do not run out of people. So the 4th step is not prejudging. I don't think many people, come out of high school or college or whatever and say, I'm going to be a network marketer. We all have our different backgrounds, okay? And if somebody at some point wouldn't have shared an opportunity with us, we wouldn't be here right now. I love that Kristen always speaks to, which she's a double diamond within Tanya's team, if you don't know her name. She's totally from corporate America. She was did very well in Rhode Island Fields, and now she's here at World building a business. She sought out both opportunities. Nobody ever approached her with a direct sales opportunity ever, because people prejudged. Successful businesswoman in corporate America, she wouldn't want to do one of these things. She's like, we do, you guys, we do. Most of us don't like what we're doing. We're just doing it because it makes decent money, but we're working more hours than we want to work, and we have families at home, and we would love something that we could do well at and be home with our families. So don't prejudge. And again, getting into asking people questions. So when you're out, again, meeting people, meeting someone for coffee, meeting somebody brand new, just master the art of listening. Like, what do you do? And just sit back and listen. So do you love it? Tell me about it. And they'll just start to vomit on you on if it's something, yeah, I love it. It's fun. It's not necessarily what I want to do forever, but, it pays the bills, or yes, I love what I do, but it takes all of my time. And that's where you can just start to dig into people and just be seeing if they're open to taking a look at something else. That in that moment, you'll know if that's when you should share your opportunity, or if it's just, again, somebody you want to come back and add to your list. And maybe that moment they got vulnerable, the timing wasn't right, but they're on your list now, and then you can figure out when the opportunity is best going to be to share with them. We were taught this at a event we did recently, this form, basically acronym to think about the way to have conversations with people. So when you're meeting somebody new, just start with their family, where are you from, married, kids, that kind of thing. Then always occupation, engage in what is it that they do, what's their profession, what do you love about it, that kind of thing, kind of similar to what I was just mentioning. And what do you do for fun is our recreation. And then as you're about to, whether you have to, okay, kiddos are done with their practice or whatever, and you have to leave, that's when you can, at that moment, if you're feeling like this is somebody you want to, share the opportunity with, based on how the conversation went, it made sense to do that. You can then money your message, just say, hey, I don't know if you're open, it sounded like you're pretty exhausted in what you're doing, or you're miserable, or however the conversation went. Do you mind? I have something that I think might interest you. Do you mind if I shoot you over a 2-minute video? I am on my way out now, kiddos hanging on me. But I can send you a video if it's something you're open to checking out, and you go from there. So just kind of think, if you're like, oh, how do I make this conversation when I'm in random everyday life, you can think of the acronym FORM, and that's kind of a really good tool to help you with that part. So step 5 is branding yourself online. So when you think of online and social media today, I often wonder, like, how did people do this before the age of social media? Like, think about how much harder it was, because truly it was always going to be through being out there meeting people. And so important to brand yourself. And this is something that we haven't done awesome at. We've learned a lot here. We've taken quite a bit of trainings lately on this topic since social media is so prevalent. And vomiting world, having a helo as your profile picture and world everywhere and talking about nothing but world, people aren't going to start listening. You need to be authentically you. And through our group right now, and we're going to dig into this step by step and, really expand on this. But kind of in a nutshell, when think about who you are, what makes you excited, what are your passions, how can you add value because of your experiences, education, background, profession, whatever. You can just add value on social media that people will want to listen to what you have to say because of you. That you're not anybody else. It's just because it's you, because you are enough. But when we're vomiting our businesses all over people and vomiting world in the helo, people just stop listening. So again, just be authentic. Every once in a while, throwing in a world post or, doing the live. I think it's so important when we first get started here to do a Facebook Live, just to share with your community and your online community what it is that you're doing. Otherwise, they would never have any idea. So doing that first Facebook Live, but then once you're authentic and people will want to follow you on social media, as you're connecting with people out in everyday life, or whether you're actually doing some cold market stuff, the best question you can do is say, hey, are you on Facebook? Let's connect. Now, I'm so intentional about this when I'm doing a lot of my cold market recruiting. Is as soon as we've made some sort of connection where we've clicked, whether I've gotten them on the phone, I found one guy just yesterday on LinkedIn and we are kind of chatting a little bit, and he was a crew chief in the Army previously prior to becoming a trainer. And we connected over that. I was in the Army also and did an aviation unit out of St. Paul. So we created this bond, and right away I'm like, hey, are you on Facebook? And we connected there. So now as I go forward, I'm building that rapport with him right now, but maybe he'll see down the road a post I do on World, and he's going to be exposed to my business as I casually present it on there. So expanding your friends list that way through people you connect with. So add them as a friend, staying consistent with your message. On social media, also be a voice of positivity. Like, there's so much negative, complaining in the world already. Think like you want to just spread glitter. Like, people will be attracted to your energy again, just like in person. So try and always keep your stuff positive, because if you're thinking about using social media as a business tool, you want to, everything you post, think, okay, if somebody's out there evaluating if they want to join my business, interested in what I'm doing, is what I'm putting out there, is that really what I want them to see? And I'm all about putting our family and stuff up there. And I've actually, as we started to create, like, who authentically are we have a list. So that way I'm making sure that I'm being true to that on social media. And again, this is a learning process. We definitely have not been perfect about it. So yeah. Oh, and last thing I want to mention on the social media is about your profile picture. It really should be a picture of you. If you're using your social media as a tool for your business, if you can get a professional headshot, ideal, but it doesn't even, you don't have to hire a photographer for that. Go and get some good lights, take some selfies. If you take 20 of them, you're going to get a good one. That's the best thing to have. If you're putting your kids as your profile picture, or your pet, or something that's not you, not ideal. Okay. You want to make yourself, you want to look like, I'm a professional. This is me. When people are finding you on social media too, then it's easier when it's actually you as your profile pic. So keep that professional. Don't vomit world all over, and be authentically you and add value. That's kind of branding yourself on the line in a very, very brief nutshell there. So kind of in summary, going back to expanding your list, writing a list, starting with a list, and a list cannot just be mental. It needs to be, whether you're a pen and paper and you're writing it out, or you're using, I like Excel, so I can constantly add to it that way. Make a list, continue to add to a list, go out there and network, and then get yourself online and just connect with people. So I'm going to end with that here and stop the recording.